What a sick trading day. I just put up the best day and the best trade of my entire career. I just want to go over the setup. For anybody who's been following me on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, I have been talking about this setup on Tesla, that eventually it's due for a pullback. And then I was just really in my mind thinking that the first day where it does a candle under candle, breaks a prior day low, I believe that's going to be the spot where there's a possible pullback. Hard to know it was going to be as crazy as it was. Also, simultaneously, while Tesla was breaking prior day low, I had my Benzinga squawk say that they're delaying the robotaxi. So what could be perceived as negative news on a stock that's extended at the highs, that's due for a pullback, it all lined up. And when we broke prior day low, I ended up swinging the bat. I took big size and I made $20,000 on that specific trade. Now, I did trade a lot today. I'm not going to go over every single trade, but up until that point, I didn't get a whole lot going. I actually started the day off small red, and then I grinded my way back to small green, and then I waited for a really nice setup on Tesla in this area right here. Once the first time it went red after the big push higher up to 271, got a very nice move lower, and then I was up almost $3,000 on the day and thought, hey, this is a hell of a day. I'm going to call it. There's no need to continue to trade. And then as I was sitting around, I heard my Benzinga squawk announce that news and thought, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. And then I ended up swinging the bat, taking the 250, 750 puts on size, and look at this drop after the fact. Who knew it was going to be that big? But the moment that I get a drop that big, I'm always just going to scalp out. Yes, it had a bounce, made new lows. Had I held, this trade would have been a lot bigger, but there's no way that I'm holding through a bounce. When it drops a key technical level on news and gets that accelerated move lower, I am always just going to take my profits, especially when I see, $2, $3, $4 move on the contracts. That's where I need to just get out. That is my style. That's exactly what I did today and ended up making $20,000 on that one trade and finishing the day up almost 24 grand, which is insane. So now with that out of the way, let's go over the technicals. I want to really show the daily chart, break down the intraday, and then why I ended up having the confidence to take size, because I had been waiting for this, but Tesla didn't really show backside yet. A lot of the pullbacks on Tesla were well above prior day low. So after this huge move higher, I don't want to short a train. I don't want to try to find a top. I want this to show backside and then just hop on board the moment it breaks a pretty key technical level. And this was the first time that it broke prior day low. So that's why I felt really good about it. But this is what the daily chart looked like before this happened. So felt a little toppy, but then got above prior day high, which I actually like, because if you look at the open, there was a bit of a range break off the open, and then it was holding above prior day high. And I was thinking that, hey, maybe this could hold prior day high and have another day higher before it finally actually really wants to pull back. And then it started to break a little bit. It got below VWAP. I'm a big fan of VWAP. If a stock is trending above VWAP, I don't want to short it. If it starts to break down below VWAP and the daily's extended the way that it is, then I want to consider some downside. So I just waited, broke VWAP, had a push up into VWAP, and then started to reject pre-market high, prior day high, started to accelerate to the downside here. And this is actually where I took the trade on Tesla. That was really the nice trade. A lot of the other trades on the day were just kind of small winners, couldn't get a lot going. But once these big 2-minute candles started to form and it felt like that selling pressure was there, once it broke support, I was going for the green to red again, because it did open a little red, but really going back red on the day and potential low a day break, because it's very extended to the upside. So I think these low a day breaks are going to have follow through just because of what's going on in the daily chart. So I ended up getting in this spot right here, right at that prior day close. And then it dropped, got the accelerated move lower, took profits. I actually tried to hold 5 contracts as a winner, flipped over the prior candle high and got out. I was up $2,800 after that trade on the day and just thought, okay, let's be done. I don't want to mess around, but then was still kind of hanging around because I like to look at the charts. And then look at Tesla. Tesla had a pop to prior day close, failed again, made a new intraday low, started to accelerate to the downside. And I actually didn't take this trade. I did not take this new low a day right here because I just thought I want to be done. There's no reason to overtrade. I don't want to give that money back. But this is what changed the game. As we started to get close to prior day low, Benzinga squawk, the news service that I subscribed to, which I didn't really realize how much it would affect my trading and help until I started using it, it announced right near prior day low. What a coincidence that Tesla is delaying the robo-taxi. I would think that'd be perceived as bad news, and not only bad news, but it's on a stock that's overextended on the daily chart and breaking a key technical level to the downside for the first time in weeks. So the moment I heard that, I just ended up getting right into the 257.50s, expecting that prior day low break to actually have some serious follow through. I did not know it was going to follow through this much. But once we got that accelerated move to the downside, it was all about just not wanting these contracts to go red because I was up a lot on them instantly. And then once it had that big drop lower, anytime I get a move like that, I'm just going to scalp out. I do not like holding my winners. If I can get a drop on Tesla that's that big, that quick, to me, that was the gift. That was the alpha. And then I'm just going to take those profits the moment I get that acceleration to the downside. And I feel like I've really dialed in my trading. Ever since the NVIDIA split, I knew that I needed to be a little bit more picky. Don't take every single setup, patiently wait for daily charts to look a specific way, for things to have a very clean consolidation. And then that's when I need to consider taking those trades instead of just kind of being aggressive like I used to be off the open and take every flag pattern, bull flag, bear flag. I was just doing a little too much. So I eliminated a lot of what I was doing and I just made sure to focus on the stuff that works, and I've gone all in on it. And then when I see the A+ setup, it's all about sizing up and it's really paying off. So that was the trade recap and the best trade and the best P&L day of my trading career. I appreciate you watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.